It's not that guys can't be together. My beloved team leader came back from the dead as a giant snake. What do you do when something is crazy happens? Obviously bring him home and start your life together. Plus, looks like he's the only one out of place drinking alone. But no one can understand how he feels right now. Is there any day worse than today? After the funeral finally ended, Liu Kaili walked home alone. He couldn't hold any. He crouched down weakly, tears streaming down his face. He'd actually been in love with his team leader all along. Working with the team leader, that was what kept him going. But why did such a girl have to disappear from his world? Just as he was lost in grief, a figure appeared in front of him. Liu Kaili looked up in confusion and saw something unbelievable. The team leader was standing right there in front of him. He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. The person in front of him still hadn't disappeared. Just as his mind went blank, the person suddenly called his name. That's when he believed it wasn't his imagination. But the next moment, the team leader swayed, collapsed straight to the ground. Kaili rushed forward to catch him. What happened next left Liu Kaili completely shaken. He didn't catch a person, because the team leader transformed from here into a snake, and he saw it with his own eyes. He stared blankly at the giant snake in front of him. This was his team leader transformed. With that realization, Liu Kaili, like he was possessed, picked up the giant snake and headed home. By the time he got home, he was exhausted and panicked. He wiped the sweat off his face. Looking at the thick black snake, he realized he must be crazy. What on earth did he bring home? But how's he supposed to take care of this thing? Liu Kaili quickly pulled out his phone and searched online for how to care for snakes. He learned online that snakes are very sensitive to temperature. Regulating body temperature is important for them. Liu Kaili immediately felt the snake's temperature. It was cold as ice. Panicked, Liu Kaili rushed to turn on the heat, realizing it would take time for the temperature to rise. He moved the snake onto his bed and thoughtfully brought out an electric blanket. This should warm it up quickly. He felt like he was getting closer to successfully caring for a snake. After all that sweating, he decided to take a shower. But he didn't know the heat and electric blanket were both rising in temperature. When he came out of the shower, the floor was burning hot. That's when he noticed the room was ridiculously hot. Panicked, he rushed to find the team leader, but there was no snake on the bed. After searching, he found it at the edge of the window, a half-dead giant snake lying there, barely surviving on the tiny bit of cool air from the crack. After that high heat roasting, it was clearly still alive. Sometimes he really wondered if he got drunk and picked up someone else's pet python. A person turning into a snake just doesn't make sense. But whether it's the team, he's got to save it first. After all, it was his carelessness that caused this. But when Liu Kaili got back home and opened the bedroom door to see on his completely naked team leader, he froze completely. He quickly shut the bedroom door again. Oh my god, what he picked up really is the team leader. As a snake kick. He opened the door again the right way. It really is the team leader and he's alive. Team leader, it's me, Liu Kaili. Do you remember when you passed out? I don't know what happened, but you came to me. But you. The other person just stared at him warily, just as Kaili tried to get closer. The team leader suddenly grabbed his wrist. Just when he thought his hand would break, he was thrown aside. He looked at the team leader in shock. The other person looked at him coldly. Could it be he doesn't recognize him? Maybe he hit his head and lost his memory. There's another possibility this person isn't the team leader, just a monster that looks exactly like the team leader. But he confirmed it by looking into his eyes. Those same eyes that made his heart flutter. Even though he feels like a stranger, he'd never mistake the person he loves. Maybe he got hurt somehow and lost his memory, just as Kaili tried to steal. To handle this, the team leader collapsed again. When he didn't move, Kaili cautiously approached to check. A giant black python suddenly emerged from under the covers, flicking its tongue at him menacingly, blocking him from coming any closer. But Kaili immediately backed away, promising he wouldn't get closer. What is going on? Now his bed and blanket have been taken over by a snake. He can only sleep in the living room. But is the team leader a person who can turn into a snake? Or a python that can turn into a person? Is he this worried because he doesn't know me? Should I go properly introduce myself? After worrying about this for long, he has work tomorrow, he needs to sleep. Then he suddenly remembered his phone is still in the bedroom. After hesitating, he quietly opened the bedroom door. The snake was staring at him motionlessly. He quickly shut the door. He waited until 5 in the morning and it was still the same. Does this thing not sleep at all? Forget it, he can get by without his phone. A man being bullied by a snake so he can't even sleep in his bed. But he didn't have the heart to kick the snake off his bed. Just because it's his beloved team leader transformed. Lost his memory and is both fierce and adorable. The key thing is he won't wear clothes. How can someone with ulterior motives like him handle this? Even though he was being bullied, Liu Kaili still puts the snake first. After so many days, even the snake needs to eat. So he searched online for what snakes eat. After seeing those food options, he gave up immediately. He'll just buy human food and wait for the team leader to turn back into a person. Luckily, as soon as he got home from work, the team leader was in human form, of course still not wearing clothes. Liu Kaili immediately brought over the porridge he bought, but the team leader just stared at him blankly. Kaili was confused. Is he still wary of me? Thinking that, Kaili took a sip of the porridge to show it's just porridge with nothing weird in it. The team leader copied him and picked up the porridge and started chugging it. Liu Kaili immediately stopped him and handed him a spoon so he could eat slowly. But the team leader stared at the spoon deep in thought. That's when Kaili realized. The team leader forgot even basic life skills. This isn't just simple amnesia, right? No matter how hard Kaili tried to demonstrate, the team leader showed no reaction. Helpless, Kaylee brought out a set of clothes. The team leader still didn't budge. He quickly held the clothes up to himself. But the next moment somehow, the team leader ripped the clothes to shreds. Kaylee looked at the torn clothes. He stubbornly brought out several more sets. They all met the same fate of being shredded. Now Kaylee finally understood. Not only does he not understand humans, decided not to be human. Not eating or wearing clothes that won't do. He can't just walk around with everything hanging out. How can his poor heart handle that? Just then, the team leader held his head looking exhausted. Kaylee noticed something was wrong. He quickly helped him lie down and felt his forehead. Maybe he hasn't recovered. And the team leader looks really tired. Last night, every time he checked, he wasn't sleeping. Did he not sleep when he was at work today either? Is he feeling uneasy because of me? Kaylee looked at the team leader seriously. Even though you probably understand me right now, I would never hurt you. Then he held his hand and said sincerely, you just need to trust me. He stroked the team leader's head. What could be more important than you being alive? You can't trust yourself. I can teach you slowly. Maybe when you get better, you'll remember. Maybe Kelly was so sincere that the team leader let his guard. Soon he slowly closed his eyes, raising an amnesiac snake that you can also cuddle with. For a man, this is getting easier by the day. The only thing he can't get used to is that the team leader won't wear clothes in human form. Kaylee can't figure one thing out. If the team leader faked his death, he must be planning to leave. But why did he appear in front of him in that form? Doubt and suspicion will only make things worse. Looking at the time, the team leader only slept 2 hours, so he reached out to feel his temperature. But the team leader suddenly bit him. He didn't let go until Kaylee cried out in pain. Looking at the teeth marks, Kaylee was confused, but the team leader still looked adorably clueless. Is she hungry? He immediately went to get the porridge. The team leader suddenly turned into a snake and followed, looking so adorable. Kaylee was completely smitten. But when Kaylee brought the porridge over, he was stung. Snakes don't eat porridge, right? Can you change it back to human? All he got in response was a snake tilting its head, staring at him. Should have bought something snakes eat. Just when he thought the snake wouldn't eat it, the snake stuck its head in the bowl and started slurping. Afterwards, Kaylee looked at the barely touched porridge, feeling down. Not being able to communicate is really troublesome. Sometimes human, sometimes snake is also troublesome. If someone comes over, that's it. If someone sees such a giant, they'll freak out. But seeing someone not wearing clothes, with everything just hanging out, that's even worse. How can he control the transformation? In fairy tales, kissing a frog turns him into a prince. Should he try that too? Even though he's wanted to for a while. But he can't take advantage of the snake. Just as he was feeling down, the snake slowly slithered over to him and rested its head on his lap. That cute gesture immediately revived Kaylee. Thinking the team leader was still hungry, he decided to go out and find. He didn't have the guts to put mice or frogs in the fridge, so he only bought back chicken, hoping the team leader would like it. But he didn't watch where he was going. Just as he thought his head would hit the floor, the team leader turned human and caught him. Hallie was amazed the team leader transformed back. Was it to catch him? He quickly realized a serious problem. The team leader isn't wearing the... His eyes unconsciously drifted downward. After seeing what he shouldn't have, he jumped right off the team leader. Is this something he's allowed to see for free? But at least, even though he couldn't get the team leader dressed, he got him to cover up down there. He lifted the towel. Kaylee completely froze. It's not like he stripped him, why should he feel guilty? In the end, the team leader only ate porridge, and he fed him spoonful by spoon. Looks like things are getting better. Eating and wearing clothes both. The team leader, because of the man's excited trembling hands, gradually changed from his initial state. When he opened his eyes, he was troubled by one question. What exactly am I? This state felt both strange and familiar. Sometimes he'd turn into a completely different massive body. So who am I really? Whenever he thinks about this, like there's a blockage. And what is this thing? All day long, who knows what he's saying. But there's one thing I don't like. I don't like when he has unfamiliar scents on him. It makes me unhappy. Though I don't know why. Today when he came back, he had a stranger scent again. So when he came out of the shower, I went up and sniffed him all over, to make sure there's no stranger scent left. Kaylee was freaked out by the team leader's strange behavior. Why is the team leader rubbing all over him? But seeing the team leader doesn't mean to bite him. Based on his experience these past few days, does the team leader want to take a bath too? Since the team leader didn't object, he led him into the bathroom. He thought he heard the team leader say. He looked at the team leader in disbelief. Did you just say squirrel? You did talk, right? Can you say it again? But no matter how much Kaylee begged, the team leader didn't say another word. This made Kaylee very disappointed. Does he want to eat a squirrel? Kaylee's sad face made the team leader upset. He didn't know why he was unhappy. He grabbed Kaylee's face and pinched it left and right. Soft and squishy, this really looks like a squirrel. His mood improved and he couldn't help laughing. This surprised Kaylee even more. Did the team leader just laugh? Next, he had to help the team leader bathe. When the team leader sat in his tub seemed so small. The killer was that his eyes kept drifting downward. He couldn't control himself. Better wash the team leader's hair first. Thinking about how the team leader kept smelling him. Does he like the scent of shampoo? But the team leader had no idea what he was saying. Although they didn't communicate, the team leader was very obedient. He cooperated with whatever Kaylee did. To keep water out of his eyes, Kaylee tilted the team leader's head back. This way the team leader's whole face was right there. For him it was a devastating close-up. How could Kaylee stay calm? The next second, Kaylee covered his eyes with a towel. Without that gaze, Kaylee got bolder. He carefully studied the team leader's features. Am I crazy? All he could think about was kissing him. What came next was even more torturous. He had to wash the team leader's body. He couldn't wait for the team leader to recover. He just think of him as Diana's subordinate. He struggled through washing the team leader's entire body. Only one important part was left. That place probably didn't need his help, right? If he washed it, he'd be totally crossing the line. While he was torn, the team leader had been watching him. Is he asking if I should help wash that place? Realizing this, he grabbed Kaylee's hand and pressed it right there. This way he should understand that he's okay with him washing. It really was strange. This place felt better to wash than anywhere else. Under the team leader's expectant gaze, Haley saw it through to the end. He ended up exhausted. By the time he got to bed, Luke Haley regretted it. He shouldn't have taken a cold shower just to calm himself down. Now not only wasn't he calm, he was cold and tired and couldn't sleep at all. Suddenly the team leader pressed down on him. Kaylee's heart jumped to his throat. But the team leader just held him tight. He didn't do anything else. Only then did Kaylee notice the team leader's body was ice cold. He quickly pulled him close and wrapped him in the blanket. So he was cold. He thought the team leader was going to do something to him. But he saw the team leader slowly slide under the blanket. When he emerged, he turned into a big black snake. Kaylee couldn't help smiling. Okay. He used to rely on the team leader so much. His eyes always followed him. Even if he could never confess, he always wanted to stay by his side. He actually didn't want the team leader to get better. Kaylee felt so ashamed for having such a thought. Before the team leader came to their company, he'd heard all about his reputation. But when he saw him in person, Kaylee couldn't look away. He was nervous and excited. He didn't know how to describe it. It started wrapping around him from his feet. A feeling of slowly being bound. But this wrapping got tighter and tighter. He didn't understand what was happening to him. What scared him more was the team leader slowly disappearing. Kylie's eyes flew open. He found the team leader had crawled into his clothes. He was wrapped tightly and kept squirming all over his body. The team leader like this was cute. But if he was unhappy, couldn't he just say so? He being squeezed so tight he could barely breathe. And his body being treated like this, nobody could handle it. He had a snake at home who clung to him daily wanting candy. The main thing was this snake was his crush turned into one. But too much candy and his body couldn't take it. Ever since he helped the team leader clean his gear stick, the team leader had been acting weird. He should say really strange. He always liked squeezing into bed with him. But he wasn't there to sleep with him. As a snake, he'd just stare at him blankly. But waking up suddenly held by a person, even if the team leader was handsome, it startled him. The main thing was the team leader always grabbed his hand and unconsciously pulled it down. He understood what the team leader wanted, so he'd help him. But he couldn't do it all the time, right? Even he couldn't handle the team leader doing this. As soon as he got home that day, the team leader grabbed him. He refused directly. Then he pushed the team leader away. He said he didn't want to do this anymore. The team leader stared at him blankly, then slowly said 2 words. No. Kylie looked at the team leader in disbelief. Tried saying, that's right, no. Sure enough, he heard the team leader repeat his words. That's right, no. This made Kaylee so happy. The team leader seemed able to speak now. This gave Kaylee an idea. But first he'd get a towel and wrap up the team leader. Why hadn't he thought before to teach the team leader? He put the team leader's hand on his own chest. Luke Haley. My name is Luke Haley. The team leader looked at him and said each word. Luke Haley. This got Kaylee so excited. Yes, that's my name. Why did he suddenly want to pat the team leader's head? But before he could pull his hand back, the team leader grabbed it. Looking at the team leader's averted gaze, did he want him to help with that thing again? Since he wasn't willing, was he hesitating? Whatever. Today was progress, he'd give him a reward. But what Kaylee didn't expect was that as he helped, the team leader got interested in his mouth. At first Kaylee thought snakes were sensitive to temperature. Whatever. But the team leader's actions got weirder. Finally, he pushed Kaylee's head down too. He was just playing a game when the other person suddenly became a snake. How strong would you have to be to accept that? Kaylee got a faceful from the team leader. He rushed to wipe his eyes clean. He looked up and the team leader had turned into a snake. Kylie stood there stunned. What had he just done to a snake? Luke, Kylie, you're completely crazy. The next morning, Kaylee looked haggard. He hadn't slept all night. Last night's scene really hit him hard. When he was getting ready for work, he found the team leader still motionless. He went over worriedly and waved. The snake didn't react at all. Was he sleeping? He couldn't tell. Finally, he quietly said goodbye and left. Today at the office, they welcomed their new team leader. The new team leader was handsome, rich and tall. He was very popular with the coworkers. Naturally, the new team leader invited everyone out after work. At the party, a female coworker was extra attentive to Kaylee. Anyone could see she was into him. This made a male coworker who liked her jealous. He said Kaylee could really drink and kept finding excuses for her. The new team leader also seemed especially interested in Kaylee. So Kaylee ended up drinking a lot. He really couldn't handle alcohol at all. Even when he said so, it didn't help. He stumbled home. He barely got the password right. Standing fully dressed in the living room, Kaylee dropped his bag and ran to the team leader. Team leader, did you get your memory back? The team leader was thinking about his words. Were the images appearing in his mind his memories? The person in the memory felt very familiar. That warm smile made him want to see it again. So he changed into what he looked like in the memory. He reached out to touch the face before him. But why was it wrong? This wasn't the right expression. He should be happier. So if he did things to make him happy, would he show the expression he wanted to see? So the team leader slowly pushed Kaylee to the floor. He buried his face in his body. Smelling the unfamiliar scent mixed on him, he was displeased. As punishment, he bit Kaylee's neck. This series of actions left Kaylee confused. He knew the team leader hadn't recovered his memory, though he didn't know why he'd put on these clothes. He immediately stopped the team leader from continuing. Wait, why suddenly like this? But it was useless. The team leader did what he wanted. His own clothes somehow got stripped off. The team leader did to him what he'd done yesterday. After all that, the team leader stared at Kaylee's face again. He just wanted to see that warm face. How could he convey this to him? Should he say something? Luke Haley, smile for me. What kind of weird fetish is that? He had to see him smile. Suddenly reminded him of those old guys with bad habits. Give the old man a smile. The team leader did this to him. He was so ashamed. How could he smile at a time like this? He forced the corners of his mouth up into a smile. But his forced smile didn't satisfy the team leader. He thought it was because he hadn't done enough. So he reached behind Kaylee. So Kaylee's front had already fallen. Now his back was about to fall too. He suddenly grabbed the team leader's hand. He laced their fingers together. Team leader, while I have this liquid courage, I want to say, I've always wanted to hold your hand. Even if you're like a child now, and don't understand anything, I still want to tell you. That holding your hand makes me really happy. He finally said what was in his heart. The next second, Kaylee passed out drunk. The team leader stared at Kaylee's sleeping face and suddenly understood. So he wanted to hold my hand. But why? That morning, Kaylee was groggily woken up. He rubbed his eyes and looked at the team leader. Are you waking me up for work? He saw the team leader shake his head. Now Kaylee was more confused. Are you hungry? And didn't I teach you how to get dressed? The person in front of him took forever to say a few words. No, don't go to the company. Kaylee said he definitely had to go to the company. Today was a work day. He couldn't skip work. He pressed right down on Kaylee. Don't go to the company. It's the behavior from the team. Kaylee classified it as acting cute. He had to calm down. His heart couldn't take it. In the end, after much persuasion, Kaylee still went to work. Driving to the company. Liu Kaylee's mind was full of the team leader acting cute. Sojo always cute as a snake. As a person, he's cute to death too. Just then, a car suddenly cut in. If he hadn't stopped, it would have been a major accident. At the office, after his head cleared, he thought about all the strange things today. Did the team leader sense something? So he tried to stop him from going to work. The team leader wasn't acting cute at all. He was anxious. Was he worried about him? Liu Kaylee noticed the team leader had been strange lately. He stayed in snake form and seemed listless. But even so, he still liked clinging to him. What was wrong with the team leader? It made Kaylee unable to focus on work. He wondered if he should take him to a pet hospital. As soon as he got off work, he rushed home to check on the team leader. The snake immediately climbed on him. His body hurt so much now. He desperately wanted Liu Kaylee to hold him and touch him. But Kaylee didn't know what the snake meant. It hurts. This made snake so anxious he transformed into a person. My body hurts. Hearing this, Kaylee was very worried. It hurts, team leader, your body is so hot. Let me get you medicine. Seeing Kaylee about to leave, the team leader grabbed him. Don't go home. When Kaylee woke up again, he woke from the heat. The team leader's body temperature was so high. Soon he noticed on the team leader's body, scales were appearing. They sparkled. It was magical. When he touched the scales at the waist, the team leader's eyes flew open. He grabbed that mischievous hand. He flipped over and pinned Kaylee beneath him. The team leader's urgency made Kaylee instinctively push him away. The team leader grabbed Kaylee's hand. Don't. Why would I say no to him? I like him. Why did I push him away just now? Kaylee had no idea how long this workout lasted. He'd totally lost his mind. But he still noticed something was off. He looked down at his boss. Wait, why is there an extra thing down there? He froze in shock. The boss was also freaked out by the sudden addition. He looked at Kaylee innocently. Seeing Kaylee staring at him, totally panicked, he quickly covered Kaylee's eyes to stop him from looking. When Kaylee could see again, the boss had turned into a snake and slithered away fast. The other snake suddenly had an extra one of those things. This turn of events left both of them clueless. Liu Kaylee noticed his boss acting really strange lately. Always in snake form and super listless. But even like this, he still loved clinging to her. A way to communicate, Kaylee had no clue what was wrong with his boss. It got Kaylee so distracted he couldn't focus on work. He wondered if he should take him to a vet. As soon as he got off work, he rushed home to check on his boss. The snake saw him and immediately crawled onto him. His body hurt so bad right now. He desperately wanted Liu Kaylee to hold him and touch him. But Kaylee had no idea what the snake wanted. This got the snake so anxious he just transformed into human form. My body hurts. Hearing this, Kaylee got really worried. Does it hurt? Boss, you're burning up. Let me get you some medicine. Seeing Kaylee about to leave, the boss immediately grabbed her. Don't go, hold me. Kaylee gently patted his back. Let's just stay like this for a bit. Before long, Kaylee fell asleep. Kaylee woke up from the heat. The boss's body temperature was crazy high. He soon noticed scales appearing all over the boss's body. They were shimmering, so amazing. Just as he touched the scales near his waist, the boss's eyes shot open. Grabbed that troublemaking hand. He flipped over and pinned Kaylee underneath him. The boss couldn't wait any longer. Kaylee instinctively tried to push him away. The boss grabbed Kaylee's hand. Don't push me away. Kaylee froze. Why would I say no to him? I like him. Why did I push him away just now? Kaylee had no idea how long it lasted. He totally lost his mind. He still noticed something was off. Looked down at his boss. Wait, an extra thing down there. He froze in shock. Boss was also freaked out by the sudden addition. He looked at Kaylee innocently. Kaylee staring at him, totally panicked. He quickly covered Kaylee's eyes to stop him from looking. When Kaylee could see again, the boss had turned into a snake and slithered away fast. The snake looked at the extra thing on his body. This threw his whole snake life into crisis. Why does he have two? Did he just scare Luke Haley? At first she kept saying, but because of the pain he insisted on holding onto her. He even got mad when he was pushed away. What if he's not so gentle with him anymore? What's he gonna do? His heart hurt, his body hurt. He kept twisting his body, so exhausted. After who knows how long, he heard Kaylee calling for him, but he didn't crawl out. Luke Haley walked over to the bed and crouched down. Seeing this, he backed away nervously. But Luke Haley looked so happy to see him. Are you okay? I was so worried about you. Oh, are you shedding your skin? Can I see? The snake was totally confused when he saw the shed skin still stuck on his tail. It clicked. That's what he wanted. Then he grabbed it with his mouth and wiggled his way out. He dropped the shed skin right in front of Kaylee. Kaylee excitedly picked up the snake skin. Way softer than he imagined. So cool. Seeing the boss wasn't done shedding yet, he immediately grabbed the tail to help him finish. The snake obediently started wiggling, but kept thinking, is Luke Haley not mad? And Luke Haley had no clue about the snake's worries. He got a whole shed skin and was thrilled. Said he'd definitely treasure it. Then he remembered something important. I just looked it up online. Snakes naturally have two down there, so you don't need to be so surprised. Earlier today was my first time seeing it, so I got a little freaked. But I'm totally fine with it now, so don't feel bad about it. Seeing his boss crawl onto him, he immediately stroked his body. You're even smoother after shedding. You look really healthy. That's great. They didn't chat long, and Kylie couldn't keep his eyes open because of all the activity. His legs were shaking as he stood up. He should change clothes but collapsed on the bed and couldn't get up. The snake crawled onto the bed too. Kylie looked at him through heavy eyelids. Boss, I need to tell you something, but I'm so tired right now. I'll tell you tomorrow. And he was completely out. Seeing him like this, the boss changed into human form. He stared at him without moving. Suddenly, he leaned down and planted a big kiss on Kaylee, then quietly said sorry. Finally, he reluctantly turned back into a snake and crawled under the bed. When he was intimate with the snake, strange images flashed through his mind. Kaylee figured these must be connected to his boss. Maybe they could help restore his boss' memory. So first thing in the morning, he told his boss about it. He hoped his boss would come with him. But now he had a problem. If his boss stayed in snake form, that'd be way too obvious. But he'd need a really huge container. Human form wouldn't be a hassle. But his boss couldn't transform at will. Then the snake suddenly transformed to show him, showing he could do it now. This totally shocked Kaylee. You figured out how to transform whenever you want? The boss nodded. That's amazing. Did you remember anything else? But the boss shook his head. That's already great. How'd you remember? The boss thought for a moment and said sleep. This blew Kaylee's mind. Was it because he slept with me? But the boss just looked at him blankly and shook his head. Kaylee felt super awkward. He remembered it while sleeping under the bed. Why was his mind on that? How could he think sleeping meant that? He felt like an idiot. Kaylee didn't ask any more questions and got ready to leave. After all, the boss was supposedly dead to everyone else. Getting recognized would be trouble. In the end, Kaylee bundled the boss up completely. He was radiating serious annoyance. Kaylee patiently explained, I know it's tough, but you gotta put up with it for a bit. It was his first time seeing his boss dressed so casual. Handsome guys look good in anything. He took his boss to the place from his dream. Turns out it was a fancy apartment near the office. Just in case, he rang the doorbell first. But no answer. So he grabbed his boss's hand and pressed it to the scanner. The lock beeped and clicked open. This really was his boss's place. After finding out his boss didn't remember anything, he suggested they look around, see if anything could help bring back his memory. But this place didn't seem lived in. Not much stuff inside. He only found his boss's work badge. The boss seemed to be staring at the box. He walked over and saw what was inside. Gems. It doesn't really look like it. The boss said straight out, these are glass stones. You're surprised he knew so much about them. Who gave these to you? Do you remember? The boss answered, you gave them to me when you were little. Why was his boss so sure the glass stones came from him? But he was certain he'd never met his boss as a kid. The moment his boss saw these glass stones, clear images flashed through his mind. Remembered that day it was pouring rain and he was resting in a cave. Little Kaylee came limping in. He probably thought he was a wall. He just leaned against him and sat down. The kid who'd been holding back tears buried his head in his arms after sitting, crying softly for his mom and dad. The muffled crying made his stiff body move. When the kid looked back and saw him, he jumped back in fear. He wrapped his tail around the kid who was about to fall. He transformed into human form, caught him and asked softly, how old are you or your parents? The kid just stared at him for a second. But hearing him mention his parents, he started crying again. I'm 5. My parents are gone. Then he held out a tiny clenched fist. Because of these glass gems. Mom really liked them. I found a bunch along the river, but Mom. And Kaylee stared at the glass stones in his boss's hand, totally confused. He never went to the river with his parents as a kid. He didn't even know these were called glass stones. He'd been an orphan since birth. Who actually gave these to you? Just as Kaylee was about to ask more, his boss's face changed and his head started hurting. He kept calling out Luke Kaylee's name, then grabbed Kaylee's arm and asked him, are you happy now? Such a heavy question. Kaylee didn't know how to answer. Then his boss suddenly let go of him. I can't be with you. Then he collapsed to the floor. Kaylee rushed to catch him, but his boss had already turned back into a snake. No matter how much Kaylee called, there was no response. He even avoided Kaylee's touch. Just like a regular snake. No feelings for him at all. Kylie waited from day until dark. His boss never changed back. He was lost and didn't know what to do. Looking at those glass stones. Who really gave you these? Why can't I be with you? A guy lost his heart and his body to a snake who he wanted answers but had nowhere to get. The other party just turned into a heartless snake. Kaylee kept waiting for his boss to change back. He'd been totally out of it lately. Which gave someone an opening. That day Kaylee went to work as usual. Soon as he got out of his car he bumped into some. His stuff fell to the ground. It was his new boss. His stuff got picked up by the guy. Is this my old boss Quan Zaixian? Why would Deputy Liu have his work badge? Liu Kelly quickly made up an excuse. Boss Quan Zaixian had ridden in his car before he died. He just found it today and was gonna turn it into Lost and Found. The new boss jumped right in. I'm actually heading to Lost and Found, I'll drop it off for you. Liu Kelly could only watch him take the badge. He couldn't concentrate after that. By the end of the day his work still wasn't done. That's when the new boss came over again. Still working late, need help. Kelly quickly said no, he'd be done soon. Seeing him like this, the new boss deliberately brought up the badge. Said Lost and Found was gonna cut it out. Seeing Kaylee's mood clearly drop, he pulled out his boss's badge with a smirk. Such a shame, he was so good looking. Young, and now his badge is getting cut off. So I secretly kept it. You want it, don't you? But how could Kaylee admit that? No, I thought Deputy Liu would miss him. If I'm wrong, guess I'll just cut it up and toss it. Kaylee's still playing tough. He put the badge right in front of him. I saw you stroking it over and over in your car. You looked really sad. This totally broke through Kaylee's defense. The new boss used to think Liu Kelly's marking was too strong. So he figured he had no shot with him. But lately the scent got way faint. Maybe that guy died and can't leave his scent anymore. He wondered how far that black snake had gotten with him. So he came clean with Liu Kelly. Your lover's a snake, right? I wasn't sure before, but seeing his photo I'm positive. There's no way this is a person. Serious trouble right now. I hope, or rather only a company. Liu Kelly had no idea how he knew. But he absolutely couldn't trust just anyone. That could put his boss in danger. I don't know what you're talking about. The new boss laughed. Stop playing. You must be struggling lately. Your boss Quan Zaixian and I are the same. This really shocked Kaylee, you too. The new boss picked up on that. Yup, I'm also a snake. But even after revealing his identity, Kaylee still didn't trust.